We've been talking for a week about how, in order to win a championship, that it's not a cliche, that it actually is defense that does it. And I believe that we held a team that normally scores 70 points to 53. And we changed some things defensively this week. And I'm telling you that the girls bought into it, and I felt like it worked. I believe this game was won on defense, and I felt like we played with every ounce of effort and heart that we had in our bodies. We played hard.
Coach, what in particular was it a matter of seeing something on film that you thought would work against them, or what areas did you excel defensively today that really propelled you to tomorrow?
I felt like they were a very talented offensive team. They could drive, they could pull up jumper on you, and they certainly had a post game, and number 10 had an outstanding 3-point. So what we wanted to do was to make every pass that they possibly could make difficult. So our effort was to be up and into them in practice, which is a little bit different than what we normally play. Normally we're a gap style of defensive team. But like I said, I was super proud, and I'm going to tell you who led the effort. The lady next to me led that effort.
And then obviously, I mean, from the journey from last year when you finished fourth and now, and everything that you've gone through emotionally and then as a team, what does have this opportunity tomorrow mean to you and then to your players, you know, after everything that you've gone through the last, 365 or so days?
I tell you, I'm so happy for them, because tomorrow is something they will always, always remember. And it's things they're going to tell their children, things they're going to tell their grandchildren about. I could not be happier for this group. And it becomes all about them. And we knew coming in here that it would take hard work, but we also wanted to have as much fun and enjoy the moment. And we talked about that too. We literally used the word happy, that you needed to play happy.
Free throws no good. Free throws no good. Is that a new phrase, or is that something you've used before?
I just didn't want to foul. I didn't want them to score without time going off the clock. And to be honest, I always want to run the clock in that last game part of the situation. I know what you're talking about there. Want to utilize the clock as much as we can and still look to score. But at that point tonight, I felt like our defense was good enough. I didn't care if we scored. I just wanted to use the clock. And I did not want to foul on the other end and let them score from the free throw line without any time going off the clock. So free throws, no good.
Shelby, your team is pretty small, really, except for you, kind of.
Yeah.
Would you just talk about how a group of smaller players and yourself is able to be so fierce inside and create so much havoc?
I definitely say our speed for our guards to be able to get around their defenders and create the right pass, because they usually get at least a double or two people go to them, so then that kind of leaves one of us open. And we just,
I meant on defense.
Oh, on defense?
Yeah.
I don't know. They pressure the ball really well, which really helps us post, so we don't have to post as hard if the guards are all up in the other girls' faces. So that usually helps our pressure.
How's that? Maya, I think you used the reference yesterday that we're small, but our engine is big. I think that was the phrase you used. I was very impressed with the tenacity of your defense tonight. It just seemed like, to use the phrase, you were the little engine that could, and you came out on top. Talk about the energy that you guys brought to the table tonight.
The energy that you saw at the table tonight is the same energy we've utilized all year long. And that's, to me, that is the main ingredient that has set this team apart from all the other teams that I've ever coached. I've coached a lot of teams that have a lot of physical talent, and they do work hard. But I'm telling you, to watch them in practice, and I've repeated myself, say this several times, we suck air in practice because we're busting ourselves so hard. And it's so encouraging to watch them do that. And then for them to reap those rewards, that hard work turned into a reward is so enjoyable to watch and so meaningful to them, I think, too.
Now, Libby, you were a team last year, right?
Yeah, correct.
Take me through your emotions from last year when you walked out of your gym and were four. And take me fast forward to now with the opportunity to play and win a national championship.
I think last year, a Final Four is still something to be very proud of. So, that night we celebrated. We were excited about the fact that we had made it to a Final Four because that is a great accomplishment. But the next day, the next week, we were back to work. And I think really for us seniors, that was the focus. Our boys this year kind of took on the mantra that, people were saying it was a rebuilding year. Well, people were saying that about us too, that it was a rebuilding year. They didn't really expect us to be here. And us seniors didn't want to go down as a rebuilding year. We wanted to get us back here.
And I think Coach made the reference yesterday, if I'm remembering correctly, a kind of a David and Goliath reference, because you guys play small and not necessarily height. Maybe even more so tomorrow with, the 6'5" girl at George Fox and what she did. Can you talk about, from what you saw a little bit in that matchup, and what do you think you guys have to do against her and them to emerge as champion?
I think, for me at least, a lot of times it's it's more focused on us. If you look at the stats from tonight, I think it's unbelievable that we had 36 points in the paint and they had 16. They outsized us at every position. And if we can score 36 in the paint against them, we still have to be able to attack the paint tomorrow night. We can't just fall in love with the three. We've got to attack the paint, but kick it outside and hit those knockdown left shots when we get that chance too.
Coach, you a little bit, you kind of like the cat that, the canary. It's like you came in here yesterday, the other two teams are undefeated, and the team you played coming off a big, big win streak, kind of stayed under the radar conveniently, didn't you, until now?
I think you're probably right about that. Again, I'd throw some credit to our schedule because we literally played the very best possible teams. We took some knocks early, and those knocks never scared us. That's the thing. We might be. Can I say we're fearless? We might be a little fearless.
Say it would be a good quote.
Yeah. Okay. We might be a little fearless.
And then one more thing, you said you had a player who was hurt at that time when you were 3 and 4. Who was out?
Karen Solar. Early.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Shelby was playing with mono, and Karen Solari was not back from a knee injury sustained last year in the Sweet 16.
Thank you.
Coach, St. Thomas did not play well in the first half, but took the lead right away in the second half with a point, and you guys went on a 10-0 run. Were you nervous at all at that stage, and what do you think fueled that run? Because that really made the difference in the game.
Lots of questions there in that one little phrase.
Yeah.
To answer the first one, I was not nervous at all during this ball game. And the only thing that would ever make me nervous is if I looked at them and saw something I didn't like. And I don't look at them and ever worry. I look at them and I see complete and utter confidence in their eyes. I guess the run, I think we had a couple of turnovers. We forced a turnover in there, I think, during that run. And then I'm not exactly sure how we scored, but certainly I think the defensive end of things, getting the stops and then converting on your end is huge. I can't remember what we opened up with, because I think we scored on our second possession, but I don't remember the play.